Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to Prime Live. We have another exciting conversation where we celebrate amazing individuals who are doing incredible things, incredible artists and creatives from all around the world. And tonight we are honored to be joined by a truly remarkable guest all the way from Zambia. We are joined by Lindah Vixen Banda. Now, she is renowned contemporary multidisciplinary artist who embarked on her artistic journey in November of 2017. She was born with a talent for art and quickly discovered her passion for creating visually stunning and thought-provoking pieces. Now tonight we'll explore her journey as an artist, her creative process, as well as the inspiration behind her stunning work. Good evening and welcome to INX Prime.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Lindah, it's such a pleasure to be able to speak to creatives and for you to be able to share your journey and hopefully inspire other creatives as well. Now, to start, you actually began your artistic journey in 2017 and you've already made such a significant impact in the art space. Can you tell us more about what inspired you to get into the art world and the art market?
Well, it initially started as a hobby. I had two neighbors who often used to paint on weekends, and with that, I was curious to try out my artistic side. So with their guidance, I started from there, and I would create different types of artworks, mostly abstract, which I would then hang in the house. And eventually, people that would visit my home would started asking me to sell the art, and it started from there. I would sell the art, and I go to other people who would ask me to create artworks for them, which was challenges that I would take on because commissions are totally different from when you're just creating for fun. So it started from there, and I knew that I needed to learn more. So commissions are actually what helped me grow into the artist that I am today, because I had to learn different norms from what I thought I knew, and it made me grow into the artist that I have become today.
Now, speaking about the artist that you are today, I mean, you've come such a long way from your younger years of your abstract art, and your work is known for, the use of very diverse materials such as canvas, stitch, collage, as well as sculpting. What draws you to the different mediums that you do express yourself in, and how do you decide which materials to use for a particular piece?
Well, with materials, there's been cases where I look at what's surrounding my art space and I work with what's within proximity. However, using different mediums has a way to create different textures that you get to have on your art piece. So with collage, you obviously have paper, you have a bit of cardboard there. Then you can dab in some plastic to add rustic texture as well. So art is often curated with emotions that are in me or that are around me. So that being said, it gets to be infused into different mediums that I get to apply on an art piece.
And with the different mediums, although you may have your intention of what you're intending to, convey in terms of your message, in terms of your art piece, the beautiful thing about art is that it relates and communicates in different ways to so many different people. And I can understand that, depending on the type of medium you choose to use, conveys a different message and a different emotion to the viewer of the art piece. And many of your pieces are extremely or deeply personal and reflect your own experiences as well as your emotions. Are you able to share a specific work of art that was particularly meaningful, memorable to you, as well as the story behind it?
I do have one particular one, and that was created because of the stories I got to hear from my friends, cousins, and the like on their experience after having a C-section birth. So I got to basically capture how they felt and I put it in an art piece. Because in some traditions, they say if one gives birth through C-section, then they're not quite considered a mother because they didn't fully experience what labor actually feels like. So that is something that was more personal, and I felt like it was giving a voice to the voiceless, like I understand how you feel, but the world has its own way of things happening. So that was basically a memento from me to every mother that's ever given birth through C-section.
That's an incredibly beautiful message, and such an empowering one at that. I think the ability that art has to convey important messages in ways that are relatable and meaningful is absolutely beautiful. And the way you chose to use your platform and your pieces to be able to stand up for mothers who have given birth via C-section, and also challenge those societal ideas, those toxic societal ideas that do exist, is incredibly powerful. But you're very well established in your art, and you have also exhibited in some of Zambia's most prestigious galleries, including the Chimunuka Lodge as well as the Lusaka Museum, which is such an incredible achievement. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. We really congratulate you on that. How has this exposure been able to influence your career, and what has been the most memorable moment for you in your exhibition journey, or a moment where you felt, I I made it?
I'll start with Chiminuka. Chiminuka, they still do actually. They host workshops every other month where they have different artists from different backgrounds come together so that they get to impact different types of knowledge from financial, legal, copyright, etc. So it started from there, and I believe that was when I met my village, because the people I met then are the people that have become so dear to me in a way that even when I'm going through painter's block, I can reach out to them and they're able to assist me and pull me out of that and just help me get back to creating. So Chaminuka has certainly opened doors to a lot of artists here in Zambia, and they're doing incredible works. So the workshops they get to host, get to have different artists, and at the end of every workshop, they ensure that artworks are created and there's an exhibition there. Considering that it's one of the few places that we have here that has the largest private collection of artworks in the country. So a lot of people frequent it on weekends, holidays, and the like. So whenever an exhibition has been set there, it's guaranteed that at least each and every person is going to make a sale through it. And it's through those interactions where you meet different art collectors, curators, and enthusiasts alike. And they give positive and negative criticism that actually can build and break you, but it certainly built me to what I have gotten to be today.
I mean, it's amazing what you've been able to achieve. And I mean, we are so proud to have an African artist who is doing so incredibly well and being able to exhibit your work in such illustrious spaces and being able to expose your work to so many different people. It's absolutely incredible.
It's actually quite an honor to be part of the artistic world, because it's quite remarkable, and it opens doors in ways that one can't simply imagine. So it's quite an incredible journey.
Now, you are a multidisciplinary artist, as we spoke about earlier in our conversation, and you spoke about the different mediums that you like to use. Now, you constantly are observing your surroundings, your environment for inspiration, as well as, like you said, your personal stories from your friends, your family, and from your own experiences as well. Can you walk us through what is your creative process from initial inspiration to the finished piece?
It often varies, but most times it starts with music and books. Well, I love to read different genres, that is, from mythology, philosophy, to old literature. So it's either or. If it starts from a book, then I get to think of how best I can give a visual representation of what I read. For someone who does not have the time as I do to read certain books, to actually look at one painting and get to understand the theme that's being taught. So there's a piece that found its new home. That was on Saturday last week, and its title is "Unwed Mother." So this is something that comes from what has now become the norm of the number of single mothers that we have out there. Like, it's one thing to be a single parent, it comes with independence, but then it's not really balanced. You know, the scales are supposed to be balanced. So this is something that I read from a book and I put it in one piece. And when I got to share it, it is obviously a piece of a beautiful woman, but obviously when you look at her eyes, you see the worry, you see the stress and the pain that she's carrying because she's handling everything single-handedly. So I get to derive from different things. It could be a song, it could be a book, or even something I get to see on the streets, because stories are everywhere. So it's how best you can capture and convey it visually for others to be able to relate to it.
That's an incredibly beautiful process, and thank you for sharing that with us and being able to showcase your artistic process. And I completely relate to the particular art piece that you were talking about the woman as being a daughter of a single mother as well. I love that you're able to create these stories and these relatable stories that many people are able to look at, remember, and being able to appreciate a beautiful story. Now, the art world is something that is constantly evolving, always changing. How are you able to keep up with the current trends while still maintaining your unique artistic voice? And where do you see your work heading in the future?
That's a very, very good question. At the beginning of my art journey, I always used to look at the artists that were around me, and I was in what I would call competition with them, because I wanted to paint like those who had been doing it for years and practicing for longer than I had, till I self-introspected and I realized that each artist is different and everyone has their own style. So I've been trying to find my voice, and I realized that it's not one voice that I have, it's multiple voices. So with that, I have learned that with the trends that are going on, I have to stay true to myself, and my audience has already been established. So I don't have to be something that I'm not, or paint like someone that I have admired before. And I have stayed true to my style, and it's proven to be beneficial. So that is what keeps me going.
I love that, and that's such a powerful message for aspiring artists who might be watching us right now, is to stay true to your style, and your uniqueness is what makes you the artist that you are. But thank you so much for joining us this evening and for sharing your artistic journey with us and your successes as well. And it was really beautiful to be able to understand your unique approach as well as your process, your creative process. It was such a beautiful experience to be able to share with you. We really commend you on all your success, and we wish you all of the best. We know that your work is going to be internationally acclaimed, and we hope to see you in galleries all over the world.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Viewers at home, I mean, she is such a powerhouse in the art space, and we love to see proudly African women doing incredible things in the art space. And I think she is a testament to the fact that you can be absolutely amazingly successful in that field. It's all about perseverance, and it's all about staying true to your unique style. But on that note, viewers, it is time for us to take a quick ad break, and we'll come right back.